Yo, what's good? It's your boy Dot from Dot Me Now Coaching and Entertainment for coaching. My links are down below. In today's video, I am going to be sharing with all of you an experience which I had back in March. Pretty much, I was inside of this reptilian dream matrix, which I eventually broke free from. And then when I broke free, I ended up leaving my body. And I was gonna just try to have some fun, but I eventually encountered a person who I realized wasn't really a person. That person became a reptilian, and then I fought that reptilian. So I'm pretty much making this video to kind of just share a story, but there's also wisdom that could be learned from this. So as I go about the dream, I'm gonna tell you why different things happen inside the dream and what you can learn from this experience. If that sounds good to you, I would like to ask that you like this video, subscribe if you're new, and if you see the option to, maybe you could hype up this video for your boy. I'd really appreciate it. It gets the message out there. More people come to the channel. They learn things. We can all wake up. And as we wake up more and more and more and more and more, we can begin to transcend the matrixical control systems which are currently on Earth. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. All right, so this experience happened on the night of March 27th. Now, with that being said, when it comes to my actual memory of the situation, it's I remember enough, right? And I have notes in front of me because I wrote down what happened as soon as I woke up. Now, some stuff that I wrote down, I don't fully remember it, but I remember enough to be able to tell the story in a way where I could still share the wisdom and what I learned and what you could take from this, right? So let's just start off with the fact that I wrote down that I had a dream, that I woke up from a dream inside of that dream, right? So I was dreaming in a dream and I woke up from another dream. And I don't fully remember what dream I woke up from, but I do remember that sense of like waking up from a dream, and I felt that like things were kind of weird, but I thought that what I was experiencing right now was real life. But I did feel that weird feeling like what's going on right now, right? So off the rip, I was having a lot of arguments. This was because I'm gonna assume it was just one being that was controlling the whole entire scenario, since I only fought one reptilian. And the main energies which they were trying to bring out of me was anger and lust. Now, I did fall for the anger, but I did not fall for the lust. In fact, the lust is what actually woke me up to the scenario. Mainly because when it comes to lust, I'm not going to fully feed into that unless you're my girl, since I do have a girlfriend and I am very loyal to her. So you're not going to get me with that. You're going to have to put me in a scenario where I'm a bit younger than I am right now and I'm single. Cuz that has happened before, where I've been in scenarios where like the character that I take on is a younger version of me, and I'm not in the same position of life that I am right now. So you going to have to try to finesse me. You feel me? If there's some evil people watching and you want to finesse me, that's how you finesse me. But I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to finesse me. Anyway, so off the rip, I was having arguments with mad people. At first, it was my dad. Now, mind you, my dad isn't even alive. But of course, he was alive inside the dream, and I didn't clock that he shouldn't be alive. Funny enough, though, I do have dreams nowadays where my dad's inside of it, and I'm like, wait a minute, Dad, you're not alive. This is clearly a dream or something like that. And I'll just break free and I'll just leave my body, right? Not all those dreams are other beings controlling it and stuff like that. It's just that this dream in particular was being manipulated by a reptilian, right? So at first, I had an argument with my dad over a t-shirt. Now, when it comes to that, I don't really remember that at all, but apparently that happened. Second thing, I almost had a big argument with my mom over a skin peeler. Now, this I do have memory of. I do remember that there was some type of skin peeler and that me and my mom were about to argue, but pretty much I didn't feed into that energy, so it didn't work. You see, when it comes to my mom, since she's still alive in real life, I've learned how to not argue with her. Me and my mom have a great relationship, and if things ever get heated, it's never gonna get too heated. That's just not gonna happen. You feel me? So yeah, even inside the dream, I was able to kind of nullify that, right? Then right after that, I got into an argument with my brother, right? And we had like a huge fight. Like it got physical, you know what I'm saying? So right there, they were pretty much harvesting and feeding off my anger, right? They were trying to use that anger to feed off me and to keep me controlled inside the dream, right? So eventually, all that kind of got solved, and like my brother and my mom kind of left the house. And at some point, I left the house, right? Now, I went to a park near my house, and I pretty much went there just to work out. But when I got there was like mad people there, bro. And there was so many distractions. The main distractions were one, there was like mad females trying to distract me and stuff like that, like on some lustful stuff. But then also, like, as I'm trying to do my own thing, there's people who are picking on somebody else who doesn't want to play basketball with them. And I kind of just stood up for them real quick. You feel me? Like I can't take that. But I did not let myself get mad or triggered, which was a good thing. Because if I got mad or triggered, I might have got my energy harvested again, and I possibly could have fell more into the script of the dream. Because after all of these scenarios, whenever I didn't lose control of my emotions, I gained more and more awareness that something was off. And you're going to see at the end that I realized that things were off, which is what led me to kind of get out that dream and to eventually leave my body, right? So, with that being said, right, after all that workout stuff, whatever the heck, I eventually went to like this food spot with my boys, right? And when I got to the food spot, I wasn't even trying to eat, but another weird distracted thing happened. People kept on trying to draw my attention to some girl who was sucking on a corn dog. But what was weird was the fact that when I looked at the girl, right, I could feel the energy of lust, but it didn't feel like I wanted to act off it. It just felt like this girl was just projecting lust, and if I was open to lust, I'd kind of feed into that and might try to talk to her and do something with her. But I kind of just got annoyed. I'm like, yo, why is there so much distracting BS going on? Plus, at this point, weird things started happening with my teeth. Now, I have dreams where my teeth fall out kind of often, and it's at the point now where if my teeth start falling out inside of a dream, I'll say 7 times out of 10, I'm going to know that I'm dreaming. And if I don't know that I'm dreaming, I'm at least going to become aware that something's a bit off. Because I've had these dreams so many times. Now, usually when your teeth are falling out, that could be a symbol of letting go of certain things, right? And depending on how easy they come out, if they come out very easy, that means that you are willing to let go of whatever it is you're trying to let go of, right? If it's very hard for them to come out, there's all this blood, you got to kind of pull them and shit like that. That means that you're kind of struggling to let go of certain things. Now, there's also something else. If you have fully grown teeth under the teeth that just fell out, that means that whatever you let go of, you kind of let go of that thing and you have already did the work to step into a new energy. Now, if there isn't any teeth under the old teeth, that means that you're currently working towards stepping into that new energy, right? So there's a lot of different ways to interpret your teeth falling out. But once it was happening inside of this scenario, I was already thinking like, yo, something's off right now. You feel me? So down to my teeth falling out, and then plus, my fault. I got an email from somebody I had a session with yesterday. I gotta help them out real quick. I'll do it after this video. Long story short, when it comes to that experience, after that corn dog stuff, I was just very annoyed. So I left. And as I'm trying to go home, I keep getting a phone call from somebody, and I know it's a distraction. I'm like, yo, this person's trying to distract me. And if I were to answer the call and talk to them, I would have got pulled right back into the script of the dream. Instead, I went home though. Now, when I got home, my girl was there and she kept on being annoying. Like, she was annoying me. I forgot what she was doing because I didn't write down specifically what she was doing, but I knew that she was being annoying and she was being overly sexual. Now, granted, me and my girl, we get it in, right? I love, you know what I'm saying, getting intimate with her. But inside this dream, it was just weird. It was annoying and it was just doing too much. At some point, I went to the bathroom and my teeth were all falling out. I'm like, hold up. This isn't real. I'm in a dream. And that girl is not my girlfriend. I'm gonna go confront her. But I was still like, I wasn't fully aware. And I say that because the way that I tried to combat her was by essentially casting a spirit out of her vessel. Now, when I tried to do it, she kind of like yawned a bit, but like nothing was fully happening. And that's because I wasn't, what I could have did was just cast out the character in general. But instead, I'm like, this character is my girl that's possessed. So I'm casting out with whatever is possessing her. You know, it's still kind of weird, right? I tried that shit, didn't really work. And at some point, I'm like, I don't know why, but I knew that I had to kind of grab her and like hold her and shit like that. And then when I did this, the whole entire dream started deconstructing, right? And then once the dream deconstructed, I started feeling that like vibrational state. And I'm like, yo, let's just get out the body. And that's exactly what I did. Alright, so now that I was out of body, I looked out at the night sky and it was so beautiful. Whenever I leave my body, bro, and it's nighttime, the sky is always so beautiful. Like the stars, bro, are just like fucking amazing. So because of that, I wanted to go outside. So I tried to fly through my window and I couldn't. And I'm like, oh, come on, bro. So I just opened up the window. I tried to fly out the window. When I did, I tried to fly out and I kind of just fell straight to the ground. Then when I did that, it's like the reality was kind of just like moving. Well, it was actually this way. Well, for y'all, it does look like this. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll do it this way for y'all because I forgot that it's flipped. My camera's flipped. So yeah, things are kind of just going past me. Like the stars are moving this way and everything's kind of just moving this way. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then everything becomes still again. And I'm like, that was weird. And then I saw that there was a lot of lights on at like a crib that's like down the street from my crib, right? And I'm like, let's see what that's about. And after the experience, I realized that something was trying to lure me to that house. You feel me? But yeah, I saw all these lights on. I'm like, all right, let's go try to, you know what I'm saying, do that, right? Let's go to that and see what it's about. Now, as I was flying over there, I would try to make like energy balls, which wouldn't work, and I would try to manipulate cars, which wouldn't work, until I encountered electric cars. I was able to turn on and off electric cars and make them move. So I realized that wherever I'm at, because clearly I'm not like in like real time and space, because like I'm not literally turning on somebody's car and it's driving off. I'm in the astral plane, like above the physical plane, right? So with that being said, I realized that when it comes to the rules of this reality, because every single reality has a certain intelligence behind it that kind of gives you the rules of that reality, right? And I've learned this over time as I've left my body various times, because in certain realities, I'm like a fucking god and I could do whatever the fuck I want. And in other realities, I'm very limited. Inside this reality, I realized that I had power over electricity. And this was actually something that was kind of important, because I've had experiences after this where I was learning about my ability to manipulate electricity and where it comes from. Granted, in real life, I'm not like a fucking, like, I'm a fucking, you know what I'm saying? But there has been times where, like, I've been inside certain states and I can make the lights flicker. Like, in real life, I can make lights flicker. And then out of my body, I can manipulate all kinds of electricity, right? And I learned to pretty much, since I've had more experiences with this whole electricity stuff, I understand more where it comes from. But anyway, inside this reality, the only power that I had was the ability to manipulate electricity, right? And when I was at that house, I was able to affect the lights at that person's house. I could turn them on and off. I could make them flash different colors. It was actually pretty cool. And at some point, I was like, should I go inside this person's house? But I was like, nah, I don't want to invade nobody's personal space and privacy. You feel me? Because I would hate if I'm sleeping in real life and then somebody leaves their body and comes inside my room. Like, nah, we're not doing that. When I first started coming out of body, I actually would do that though. I would like go inside people's houses. You feel me? Luckily, I wasn't always in real time. I would be more inside like just the astral plane. I wouldn't be directly in the physical layer of the astral. I'm more like just like in like the higher aspects of the astral. Therefore, whatever I'm seeing, like sometimes I'll walk inside somebody's house and I'm kind of entering into their dream rather than actually seeing them sleeping on the bed, because I'm kind of in that higher level of the astral where those dreamlike things take place at. Anyway, long story short, at some point there was this girl who walked out the house. Now, I actually know this girl in real life, but it wasn't literally her. And the thing is, right, this girl isn't even really attractive to me, right? What was weird though is that I felt this strong lust coming off of the girl. And it was weird because, once again, she's not really attractive to me. Plus, like, it was just so weird. Because it didn't feel like it was my lust, but it felt like the lust was trying to make me do, intimate things with that girl. But I'm just like, no. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, yo, you're like a succubus. Like, get out of here, right? And then once I said that, bro, here is when that being shapeshifted, right? It was it was weird because it gave the vibe of taking off clothes. Like, not like to get naked, but like the skin it was wearing was clothes. And it was like, this was supposed to be short and sweet. And once it said that, it appeared in its form. It was a female reptilian. She was like bald, but had like like horn spikes on her head, and her eyes were like yellow, but I guess like the pupil was like a slit and it was black. And let me check my notes to make sure I don't miss anything, right? Yeah, this will be short and sweet. Yeah, once she said that transformed, I'm like, oh, hell nah. So we started to fight. I tried to make a sword and fight it, but that didn't work. I tried to blast it with like a kamehameha. That didn't work. I'm like, bro, I got no power right now, bro. I'm cooked. So now we're in like this grabbing battle and stuff like that. And I'm like, nah, F that. I'm about to freaking drive this reptilian. So I'm at a house that's, well, for me it's over here, but since it's flipped on my screen, we'll do like this. The house is like on this side of the street, and there's also a house that's like ahead of it to the other side of the street. When the reptilian changed its form, it was standing about like right here. So now I was closer to this house. So I start grabbing this bitch. You feel me? I'm like, yo, get over here, right? I'm like, ugh. And I pulled her over to the crib, right? And I start turning on the light with because I got electric powers and shit. I start turning on the light very intensely, and I start burning her shit, bro. Like I'm burning the out of her face, bro. Like that is getting it's smoke coming out of her face, all that, bro. I'm burning the out of this girl, bro. Now keep in mind, I have fought many reptilians, bro. I fought reptilians, alpha dracos. I fought all kinds of beings, bro. You feel me? I done fought all kinds of ish, right? But usually I have more power when I do that. All I had was the light this time. So what was funny about it, right, was that at some point, Shorty's like, she put her nail inside my shoulder, but that joint was so painful, bro. I started like woozing out. I'm like, oh, nigga, that joint hurt. I'm like, oh, I started blacking out. I'm like, nah, I gotta finish the job, so I'm trying to burn her face more. And it got to the point where like I did burn her ish, but like the light kind of went out. It's like I put too much power into it. I kind of blew the fuse and stuff like that. But Shorty was cooked at this point, you feel me? And now I'm kind of coming back to my body and stuff like that. And I wanted to connect with Source while doing it, but I'm like, wait, I shouldn't call it Source. Let me just tap into that energy. So once I did that, I kind of just went back to Source, and then I came back to my body. Now when I went back to Source, because this isn't the first time I've been out of body that went to Source, but every time I do it, it's like first I'm in like a black void, right? Then at some point I'm like beyond the void, and it's like I'm just one with Source, and I don't see anything, right? And it feels like I'm there for eternity, but also for 5 seconds. Like time, this is way beyond time. You're not gonna see nothing. You're beyond the void, right? Because you're outside the whole entire omniverse, right? Like the void is still a part of the omniverse, right? You experience the void on planes 11, right? On plane 11, you feel me? You can either experience the void, infinite potential, or a mix of both of them. At first it was pure void, and then I was also feeling that infinite potential, but I'm like, nah, I want to go to Source. And I almost was about to say Source, but I'm like, yeah, I shouldn't call it Source, because Source goes beyond the name Source, you know what I'm saying? So I just connected with that energy. Of course, Source is beyond energy too, but I kind of just, I know what Source feel like, so I just shot up to there, and I was with Source for a fucking eternity, and also for 2 seconds. And at some point, I just came back to my body and I woke the fuck up. Funny enough, I was sleeping right next to my girl, and I'm just like, word. I didn't even tell her about the experience either. You feel me? Like I treated that like she like the thing is, if she ever see this video, she gonna be like, wait, this happened to you? I'm like, yeah, it did. You feel me? I think I mentioned like small bits and pieces if certain things came up related to that, where I could be like, oh yeah, like she's talking about this, I could slip that in there. But I didn't even tell her about the experience, bro. I kind of treated that day like a normal day, because at this point I've been out of body many times. I fought many beings. It wasn't too much of a big deal. But I did want to share this video because you got to be careful inside your dreams, right? If you start because sometimes you'll have dreams where you experience like negative emotion, and it's not that it's a being that's controlling your dreams. You might just be experiencing something in a dream state that's trying to help you get over certain baggage which you carry. Because I've definitely had dreams like that where I'm kind of just experiencing my own baggage, but this time it was a being controlling it. And there's always something distinct about it. It always feels different. Like I can't describe that feeling to you, but pretty much whenever I experience my own baggage, I know it's my own baggage. But this just felt like something was trying to mess with me and harvest my energy, right? So you got to be careful inside your dreams, bro, because sometimes certain beings try to finesse you, bro. You feel me? I'm going to end this video. I love you. I'm going to catch you. Peace the freak out.